Tragic house fire in La Jolla that left 2 people dead. What neighbors and investigators are saying about the fire. How an East County school district is getting parents and students ready as they kick off the school year with distance learning. And the latest on the debate on Capitol Hill over a relief package and how an intervention by the president may impact Americans. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
2 people died in an early morning house fire in La Jolla. Family members say one was a young girl. Good morning to you. I'm Jim Patton. ABC 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie is at the scene where the home collapsed during the fire, and investigators had to wait for hours until it was safe to go inside.
They did find the deceased inside after a careful search of the home. It was incredibly difficult to get inside due to the amount of fire damage.
I'm much more concerned about the little girl that might be in there.
Pat Nison lives on Caminito La Paz. Her home was spared, but she was very worried about 2 of the 4 people in the home next to hers who were missing for hours and ultimately were confirmed not to have survived the early morning fire.
They were screaming and yelling, and then I started hearing glass and breaking.
Pat says she saw a few flames at first and called 911. By the time firefighters got there, the fire was coming from all sides of the home. They tried desperately to get inside, but couldn't. Family members say 2 little girls, their father and grandfather, shared the home. They tell us the 80-year-old grandfather and younger daughter, who had autism and was nonverbal, sadly did not survive. The father of the girls and the older daughter did get out safely. Hours later, the father was taken to the hospital after medics convinced him his burns needed to be treated. Finally, fire investigators were able to get inside to locate the 2 bodies. The cause of the fire is unknown. In La Jolla, Mary McKenzie, ABC 10 News.
This morning, a woman in the hospital after being shot and police searching for the suspect. The call came in around 7 o'clock this morning. When police arrived at the scene in Southcrest, they found the victim who had been shot in the chest, but no suspect. Shortly after, police responded to a crash along the freeway involving the suspect's car, but again, the suspect nowhere to be found. They believe that she may have been injured in that crash. No word on a suspect description or the victim's condition. East County teens head back to class today, but not back to campus as Grossmont Union High School District starts the new year virtually. ABC 10 News reporter Jared Aarons says students, staff, and teachers are adjusting to the new way of sending kids safely back to school.
This is what the first day of school looks like at El Cajon Valley High. Mostly empty, kind of subdued. But as Grossmont Union High School District welcomes students back to class virtually, the people here tell me there's still some excitement from being able to log on for the first time.
It's excited to start a new chapter.
Dalen Richardson and his father, Emery, were among a handful of people who came to campus Monday to pick up supplies and books. They just moved from Pennsylvania, so Dalen's starting a new school in a new state, all online.
It's kind of tricky. I hope this all could go by fast so I could just come in.
Superintendent Teresa Kemper led the district's roadmap to reopening. The 5-level plan calls for students to gradually come back to campus once the state and county give permission.
If we're all trained and doing it right, then we're ready for kids to come back.
But campuses in the Grossmont district aren't entirely empty. Teachers were encouraged to use their classrooms, but had the choice of teaching from home. And all office staff and administrators are on campus, making sure everything runs smoothly and can reopen when San Diego's coronavirus numbers go below state thresholds.
Then we take 3 days to get off the watch list, and then 14 days after that, schools can open. So we have the potential any day of schools opening in 17 days.
The district is also celebrating its 100-year anniversary in 2020. They had planned big events at every school to mark the occasion. Those plans are now on hold, not canceled, because the district still plans to bring students back as soon as possible. In El Cajon, Jared Aarons, ABC 10 News.
Today, a protest is planned over the demotion of a popular principal at Chula Vista High School. Mary Rose Peralta is the former principal of Chula Vista High School. Her decision to preserve graduation during a pandemic may have cost her job. District spokesperson won't confirm that, saying only it's a personnel matter. She is now at Chula Vista Middle School, and there is now a petition to get her job back. Today's car protest is at 3 p.m. and will take place at the district office with supporters including educators, families, and leaders of the local Filipino community. California Public Health Director and Health Officer has announced her resignation effective immediately. Dr. Sonia Angel sent an email to her staff making the announcement, but not giving a reason for the resignation. Comes 1 week after that glitch was discovered in the state's data system, causing the state and counties to underreport the number of coronavirus cases. Angel was appointed State Health Officer and California Department of Public Health Director back in October of 2019. Governor Newsom releasing a statement thanking Angel for her work during the pandemic. The agency has tapped 2 people to fill both of the positions left vacant. A reaction this morning from President Trump's executive orders on coronavirus relief. ABC's Inez de la Cuetara explains Democrats are calling the move an unconstitutional end run around Congress.
This morning, the president's executive actions facing backlash.
The president's executive orders, described in one word, could be paltry.
Trump signing 4 orders over the weekend that seek to extend unemployment benefits, curb evictions, provide relief to student borrowers, and suspend collection of payroll taxes.
And it was time to act. And actually, we've been largely praised. We have to get money out to the people.
But it's unclear whether the president actually has the authority to do that, since the Constitution gives Congress the power of the purse.
I associate myself remarks with Senator Sass, who says they're unconstitutional slop.
There's also some confusion over who would pay the $400 per week extension of unemployment benefits that the president is ordering. That additional help expired last month for roughly 31 million Americans, but Trump is now looking to states to foot at least some of the bill.
This is the money that they need. This is the money they want, and this gives them a great incentive to go back to work.
Ohio's governor telling CNN he doesn't know if his state can even afford to contribute.
We're reviewing this now.
With the unemployment rate at 10.5%, there is bipartisan support in Congress for a second round of stimulus checks to be sent directly to Americans. The president also supports the idea, but his executive actions did not include any checks. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
This morning, county leaders hearing from the public about San Diego's proposed budget. It is a 2.5% increase, almost $160 million more than last year's budget. And that increase includes the $100 million from CARES Act funding to address the pandemic. Health and Human Services will see a significant increase because of that. And the proposed budget also includes the establishment of a new Office of Equity and Racial Justice. Well, one business that is feeling the financial strain of the pandemic is SeaWorld. The company today revealing its earnings from the last quarter, and like many businesses, it has seen revenue plummet. SeaWorld says revenue was down 96% compared to the same time last year. Parks were closed for months due to the pandemic. The San Diego park is currently closed. Earlier this year, after the closure, SeaWorld furloughed 90% of its staff. Well, right now, SDG&E answering questions from the state about how it's preparing for the wildfire season. Utility is meeting with the State Utility Commission and CAL FIRE. Main focus today is on SDG&E and other utilities' plans for shutting off power in emergency situations and how they'll make those decisions and communicate them to the public. We'll have more on later editions of ABC 10 News.